Okay, before I get started, I just wanted to do a territorial acknowledgement. The University of the Fraser Valley is situated on the unceded traditional territory of the Stolo peoples. UFV recognizes and honors the contribution that Aboriginal people have made and continue to make to our community. So, an overview for the session, what you're going to learn today in our webinar. We're going to do some introductions for ourselves and the Advising Center and what we do. I'm also going to go through the BSc program requirements. And our main focus for this session is on fall registration. So helping you with course planning for the fall term and registration tips. We're going to go through course planning tools. So other than this session, places that you can go for information as you're going to register, and also to cover some of the resources for your academics. Okay, starting with the UFV Advising Center. All of the advisors for the university, for most programs, are in the Advising Center. And that's where you'll find your science and computing, CIS, academic advisors. There's myself, Karen Cooper, and Rila Apostolakis.
Hey, everyone.
Donna Premu is also one of the advisors. And right now we have a faculty advisor, Debbie Wheeler. And we always have someone from the science faculty advising students. So for right now, through the registration period, it'll be Debbie Wheeler. And starting in the fall, you'll meet Jane Webb, who will be taking over for the next couple of years. And she's from the chemistry department. You might also run into Jane in one of your chemistry labs. On this slide, you're going to find all our contact information. So you can email. Might be one of your main ways of reaching an advisor, advising@ufv.ca. You can also phone in. And presently, we are all virtual, but as we start back on campus, we do have advising in both Abbotsford and on the Chilliwack campus. And on this slide, you will see the location for that. So what do advisors do? We're referred to as completion advisors. That means we advise on programs. And in our case, we're advising for the Bachelor of Science, the Bachelor of Computer Information, and the Bachelor of Environmental Studies, Natural Sciences, as well as the Bachelor of Agriculture Science. Within that, there are some diplomas, the CIS diploma and the Associate of Science and the Data Analysis Certificate. And one other diploma is the Engineering Physics Diploma in Mechatronics. So those are all the programs that you would come for advising from one of the science advisors. So we're your connection between you and your studies at UFV. We help you with all your planning for your diploma or degree, picking courses, helping you stay on track. And there's some other resources you can use, but we can help you stay on track for those programs, whatever you may choose, and help you decide on what your major vision might be as you go along. We're also here to provide you with answers on university policies, procedures, general academic questions, and referring you to other university resources if our office isn't the place that you need to find out things or get your assistance. We do a lot of career advising, helping you plan for a particular career and helping you plan for particular grad programs or professional programs. So I noticed some of you are interested in dentistry and pharmacy. We have a lot of students going into medicine or just onto a graduate program or engineering. We can help you with planning your courses and other things in preparation for applying to those programs. If you're in academic difficulty and have questions about your academic standing, and developing strategies for success, we're also there to help you. So academic standing, you'll hear about that. Good academic standing is a grade point of 2, which is a C, if you're more familiar with the graded system. And finally, we're here to help you with your graduation and making sure you're on track. So we do graduation checking for your program of study. Okay, in the Faculty of Science, we have a number of different disciplines. There is agriculture, we have biology, we have chemistry, we have engineering, physics, geography, and the environment, computing science, and mathematics and statistics. So those are the programs that we have within the Faculty of Science and that you might be interested in. Just so you know, on top of lectures, UFV prides itself in having labs. So a lot of our courses will have labs, or you learn and practice lab techniques and procedures. So you have a lot of hands-on in many of our courses. And you'll see as you start to take courses, some of them will have labs as well as the lecture. There's a lot of job opportunities in science. You're looking for positions in the government, in research, in tech startups, health. A lot of students go into health, environmental consulting companies, labs, etc. So science degree can set you up for a career in one of those areas. So to start out, I'll just give you an overview of the Bachelor of Science program. It's 120 credits, and that translates to about 4 years or 8 full-time semesters if you're just going to go for the fall and the winter. Some students decide to take fewer courses in the fall and winter and take a few courses in the summer, and others just want to move along at a little quicker pace, so they pick up a few courses in the summer term. As part of the Bachelor of Science degree, you will be selecting a major, and we'll talk about your choices in a minute, or you can also look at 2 minors in a science discipline. In all of the programs, all of the majors or minors, you'll need calculus or math 111 and 112. So all students will take a calculus 1 and a 2. As well, all students will take a communications or literature course, and you have some choices. So you will have 2 courses or 6 credits in communication and or English. So you do have a choice there as long as you have 2 courses with those subject headings. And then for all of the programs, there is some electives where you get to choose courses in any subject you want across the whole university. It doesn't have to be a science. Elective means you choose. So a major, what is that? A major is a collection of 12 to 18 courses in a single subject. And you'll have courses first and second year, which we call lower level, and third and fourth year upper level. And so most of your coursework is going to be in that single subject, and that is called your major. Or if you want to do a minor is a smaller portion, about 7 to 12 courses in a single subject. Again, you have lower level and upper level courses required. You're going to take some of the beginning introductory courses, and then you're going to take some more courses at a more higher level and more detail. Choices for majors in the Bachelor of Science include biology, biochemistry, that's a relatively new program, chemistry. We now have computing science, mathematics, or a math statistics combination. We have physical geography, and we have a physics major or minor. As well, we do have honors. Honors means that you're usually going to do a little bit more coursework in that area, or you're going to do a research project. And we do have honors for biology, mathematics, physical geography, physics, and I think recently chemistry. So that's a new add-on, chemistry on. Remember, as I said, if you're interested in something else outside of science, you can take an elective in that. And you can as well do a major or a minor in a subject outside of science if you want to add that on, as long as you meet the conditions of the Bachelor of Science. Just as an example, A lot of students do a biology major and add on a psychology minor or major, or biology and a kinesiology minor. So biology major, kinesiology minor. So that's one example of what students choose. One option for all of the programs in the Bachelor of Science is adding on something called co-op or cooperative education. And what that is, it's an option where you study, and then within your degree, you also have some paid work terms. So you're going to be studying your courses, and then you're going to try out a job in that area of study. Many students will do a couple semesters. You have to have at least 30 courses or credits done first, and then they will do a work term. So typically that's for most students, you would start the second fall of your degree. So it's a great way to experience the course material in your degree, and that's the co-op education program. It also prepares you for the job market. You're meeting people, you're experiencing the work world, and it helps you in decisions about what direction you might want to go. So for this fall, in terms of planning, I don't know if anybody has looked at the timetable already, but you'll see there's a large selection of courses, and it gets a little mind-boggling as to how many courses should I take. What should I do this fall semester? How many courses you take in a semester is certainly up to you. You're the one that's registering. But we want to be sure that you select a course load that fits into your life. So everybody's a little bit different as to what they can handle. Typically, however, to give you some guidelines, students are looking at between 3 and 5 courses per semester. Okay? That's between 9 to 18 hours of class time per week. Now, be aware that first-year science courses are heavy load because many of them have a lecture and a lab combined in one class. So that's always something to consider when you're thinking about your load. In terms of what that means, so let's just say, for example, you take 3 courses. They're 3 credits each. You're going to be meeting virtually right now in a class setting for about 3 hours for the week. And then on top of that, you do have homework to do. So readings, assignments, group work, etc. So you should be thinking at least another 3 hours of preparation outside of the class time, if not twice as much. So 6 hours of preparation for that course. So that's for 3 courses. So think about it if you're going to do 4, if you're going to do 5 courses, what that might mean in terms of time. Another consideration for students is, are you planning on working? Do you have children? Are there other things that take up your time? So how much time out of your week will you be spending on that? As a guideline, we generally don't recommend any more than 15 to 20 hours of work for students. And in fact, if you're taking 12 to 15 credits, so that's about 4 courses, about 10 hours a week is kind of manageable. And that might be a good starting point for most students just to be sure how that will balance with the coursework required for a university course versus what many of you have done as high school courses. Okay, in terms of getting going for registration, I don't know how many of you were able to attend one of our webinars on the registration system. If not, you can go to the Office of the Registrar's website or Registrar's website, and they have a step-by-step guide to registration, as well as there's some tutorial videos on how to register, how to waitlist, some of the common things you're going to find in terms of registration. So you can go to the Office of the Registrar's website and run through the information there. And I encourage you to do that prior to registration so you're familiar with how it goes and you're all ready for your registration. Other places to prepare for registration would be looking at the academic calendar. And in there you'll have course descriptions, as well as the academic calendar has a list of prerequisites. So for each course, become familiar with what you will need prior to taking that course. So as many of you are out of high school, just being sure that when you choose a course that you took the correct courses in high school and are ready to register for that course. Okay, for course planning, so getting into more of the details of what to plan for the fall semester. On the advising website, and you'll see the link at the bottom, we have a number of different planning tools. So we have one-year plans, so what you should be thinking about for your first year. We also have 4-year plans, so what you should be thinking about taking for the whole 4 years of your degree. And we have them separated out by each of the majors. On this slide right now, we have the biology major. And so you can look through that and see that for fall, we have a particular set of courses that you should plan on. And for winter, we have a set of courses that you should plan on. So for each one of those, you can go to the website, and we have flowcharts as well as the 1- and 4-year plans. And the flowcharts, what they show you is kind of the order of how you would take a course. So in the first year, these are the courses you would take in order to get to the next courses for the second year. So it shows how courses connect to each other. And that's on our advising website. I don't know how many people in our audience today are interested in biology, but before I move on to the next slide, for biology, students would be taking Biology 111, which is the first of the introductory biology sequence. So you would register for Biology 111. Remember, that one has a lab. Next course that I would recommend would be Math 111, which is your first calculus. And then following that, you also have chemistry within the biology major. And Chemistry 113 would be the third course I would recommend. And that one also has a lab. If you're planning on taking 4 courses, a good one to consider is English 105, or you could take a communications. So that's the recommended courses for the biology major. And then we have the winter schedule down here. Now remember, right now you're only considering what you should register for the fall term. Winter is something that we will address in November, and that's when you register for November. Chemistry. If there's anybody out there that is considering a chemistry major. This major, as well as biology, is great for professions such as medicine, dentistry, pharmacy. So it's also a good choice. If you look at the fall schedule for a chemistry major, you'll see that, again, you're going to be taking Math 111, first term calculus. For chemistry, you would take Chemistry 113, and we also recommend getting going on physics. So there is a full year of physics in the chemistry major, and so the first course in that sequence would be Physics 111. And if you want to take a 4th course, it can be elective, or again, you could be looking at English and communications. Physics. Physics is another popular major within the science degree. As with every major or minor in the Bachelor of Science, you'll see Math 111 appearing again. Then Physics 111 is the first of the sequence for the physics major. So that's mechanics. As well, you'll need a computing course for the physics major, and you do have a choice here. So Computing 120 or 150 or 152 could be your 3rd course. And then again, we have the electives. So again, that could be anything of your choice. Computing science. Could be another major some of you are thinking about. For this program, we recommend for the fall semester, you look at taking Computing 125, which is Principles of Computing, your Calculus 1 again, Math 111, Computing 150 or 152, Introduction to Programming, and then an English or Communications or an elective for that. And finally, I'm just going to end with mathematics. There is physical geography as another major. If anybody is interested in that, please do email us and we can send you the plan for that, or you can just go to the advising website and look for that. But for mathematics, if you're thinking about a math major, perhaps you're thinking of maybe going on into a data analysis field or maybe teaching, certainly looking for math teachers. Math 111, of course, is the recommended course for the math major. And then you can look at what your first year science would be. And that could be either a chemistry first year science, a biology, or physics. And you certainly have a choice for that. An English course is then recommended, and an elective course of any of your choosing. Just for anybody who's thinking about teaching, regardless of the major, English is highly recommended for admissions to most teaching programs. So if you're choosing between English and communications, I encourage you to take English. And that also applies for dentistry, medicine, and pharmacy. Most programs want a 2-semester sequence of English. So again, English 105 over a communications course for that course or career focus. Okay, for those who may not have the courses from high school that you might need to go into one of the sciences that you're thinking about, we do have high school courses that you can take or equivalents at UFV. So you could take them at UFV and get ready to take the university level. So we have Bio 11 equivalent, and that's Biology 083 at UFV. We have Biology 12, which I think is Anatomy and Physiology now in high school, is Bio 093. We have a grade 11 Chemistry and a grade 12 Chemistry as well. You'll see them on there. So Chemistry 083, Chemistry 110, and we have a Physics 083 that we teach as well, which is your Physics 11. Just so you're aware, the Physics 11 will get you to our university level physics courses. So if you haven't taken that and you need to take physics at the university level, we do teach the Physics 083. And then mathematics for anybody who needs to upgrade. Perhaps you didn't get a chance to take it, or you didn't get a high enough grade in high school, and that's generally a B grade. We do offer a 2-sequence math, so you can take it in fall, winter, 092 and then 093, or a 1-semester sequence, 096. And for those that have a high enough grade, we do have a math 110. Okay, some of the resources just to review that you can use to plan your schedule. The academic calendar is a great place to go for all your information, and there's information there on general university rules, course descriptions. The course finder is also linked there. Course outline, so a little bit more detail about each course, and then your program. So if you want to review what would be in your program, what are the general requirements for the BSc, what's in a particular major, all of that is in the academic calendar. And just as a review, the Advising Center website, the things that you can find there, the 1 to 4 year plans with course flowcharts. There is also links to the different departments. And on many of our science departments, they show future course offerings. So not only can you find out what courses are offered in the fall, but many of the departments in the sciences will tell you what they plan to offer in the next couple of years. And so on our website is a link to the department websites. We also have information on important timelines, upcoming events. There is a GPA calculator if you want to find out how your grade point average or your grades will change. And there's links to other resources and support services. And of course, you can book an advising appointment on the Advising Center website. Another resource for planning, once you've registered, you're going to hear about the Grad Plan or My Grad Plan. And you can find that in your My UFV account. And what it is a report of what your current program is and how you're finishing the required courses. So as you register for fall and then you go to your grad plan, you'll see where those courses fit into the Bachelor of Science program. So it'll list all the courses that are required in the Bachelor of Science, and then once you declare major or minor, it'll tell you how your courses also fit into that. Well, most of you, of course, will not have declared anything, will not have a major or minor on account yet, but you can, in the grad plan, also do a scenario or a what if. And if you go and look at your My Grad Plan, on the right-hand side, you'll see a what if, and you can choose the major or minor you want to add in. Or you could even change the degree if you want, and it'll tell you what you need to complete that. So it's a great planning tool for future courses. Okay, to sum it up, I just wanted to go through some of the other places or resources on campus that you can seek help. Your instructors are going to be a great resource for your particular course material. And all of them, whether you're taking your course, well, all of you are taking your course virtually, but all will have instructor office hours and some way of connecting with them, whether it be virtual or email. And so they should have their instructor hours posted, and you'll be able to ask them questions just like you would as if you were going into the classroom and asking them questions during the lecture or after the lecture. We do have a Math and Stats Center. So since all of you are going to be taking mathematics and many of you are going to be taking statistics, become familiar about the Math and Stats Center, and you can go to the link that's on this slide and check out what their resources are. So they will be having help virtually during this time, but they will have set times where you can sign in and ask questions. And it's usually instructors, but we also have some senior math students helping you out. Also, the Academic Success Center. They are here to help you. There are peer tutors to assist you, and the peer tutors can be across many of the disciplines in the sciences, in computing, in English. So you can set up appointments to talk to a peer tutor about your particular course material. As well, there are workshops, so study workshops, how to read your textbooks, how to plan for exams, and they post those regularly, so you'll see the kind of workshops that you could attend virtually. And then there's other kind of resources on their website. So there's some writing information, that sort of thing. Supporting learning groups is another way to get assistance for a course. And what supporting learning groups is a student that has previously taken the course and done very well, and they will be in your classes as well as leading study sessions outside of the regular lecture. We do have counseling, and they're located in student services. For you, they have study skill workshops, and those will be posted on their website. They usually have something in the fall and in the winter for a workshop. And they do have personal counseling, and they also help with career planning. And usually every fall they have a career planning workshop that you can also sign up for. If you're a student that needs extra assistance, you have a documented disability, we do have the Center for Accessibility Services, And for anybody, also there's the Indigenous Student Center for extra support. So check out all these possibilities for you. Have a look on the website now while you have the time and see what kind of help you can get on at UFV. Okay, so we are at the end of our formal session. This is what we would call your first advising session, and you can certainly follow up with an appointment at any point. We usually recommend you have an advising appointment at least once a year, and to just to have a little bit of a checkup and get assistance as you go along through your degree. And now we are going to open it up to questions from students. So you can ask your questions in the chat portion of Blue Jeans. So if you have any questions, we have about 25 minutes for that. So please go ahead and share your questions. We have one from Olivia. So Olivia is asking, how do you register for labs? So if you look in the timetable, you will see that there is a lab and a lecture listed. And so what you're going to do is choose the lecture time that you want. And then below that, in the timetable, you will see a number of possibilities for the lab. And so what they're usually coded as, so for a lecture, you'll have, let's give Physics 111 as an example. There'll be Online 1, Online 2, Online 3. Those are the 3 possible lectures for Physics 111 for the fall. Below that, you'll see labs that are usually hashtag A, B, C, D, E, F. You're going to select one of those. Okay? So you can either register by clicking on a little box ahead of that, depending on how you're registering, or you can find the course registration number and keep that handy, and when you go to register, you'll enter the course registration number for the lab and the lecture at the same time and register for it. You have to register for them at the same. Do you have anything to add to that, Rilla?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, you have to register for them both because they are linked together. So you can't register for the lab and then come back later and pick the lecture. It's at the same time.
And the labs are at different times. The lectures obviously are online right now, so they're not at any, well, they are at a time actually. You have to sign in at a particular time for the physics. But the labs are in person for the fall. Just so you know, biology, chemistry, and physics, you will have in-person labs on the Abbotsford campus, maybe the Chilliwack campus as well. You can look for that. You do attend those, and they are going to be every second week. So pay attention to, when you go to register, what the dates of the labs are going to be, because they won't be every week. The lecture, well, it is online. You'll enter the virtual classroom at particular times. So physics has 3 lectures a week. You can look at biology. It probably has something very similar. And chemistry has something very similar, where you're still doing it virtually, but you're asked to attend at a particular time, and you sign into that virtual classroom.
Calculus has that as well this semester too.
Right, so they do too, yes.
Just keep in mind you have to make sure that you're not in conflict with a lab, and when you're scheduling your semester, you want to make sure that you aren't having to be logged into a classroom situation at the same time as a lab or close to that. So if you're supposed to be logged into a course until, say, 10 to 1, but have to be on the Abbotsford campus for a lab at 1 o'clock, that might not work unless you're sitting in the parking lot in your car, which probably isn't going to happen. So just keep that in mind as far as, especially as science students, you have to be really aware of, the days of the week and those times, because you're going to be, in normal times, you're in class on a regular basis, but especially with this online environment, there are definitely, for most of these first year courses, those dedicated times you need to sign in for the lecture portion. So it can be a bit of a puzzle to figure out your first couple of semesters. Got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, not only do they, you have to watch how you're registering and there's no conflict in time, also being aware of if there's space in the lab and lecture that you're choosing. So you may look now and we know that no one's registered yet, so you're obviously guaranteed a spot if you were going to register. But as time goes on, that particular section of lecture or lab might be full when you go to register. So do have alternatives. Plot out several possible scenarios of your fall schedule and be open to being flexible on those times and choosing something else. So you might find you can get into the lecture still, but you need to choose a different lab. So think about that possibility. Anybody else have questions? So far we've had one.
Oh, I think another one's up.
So John has asked, since I'm out of station, so must be out of location, I won't be able to attend the labs. What do I do? So if you're not able to be close to Abbotsford or Chilliwack, then I recommend that you're going to need to leave those lab courses until you can be close to campus. So you'll have to attend the labs. There's no virtual labs for chemistry, biology, and physics. The attendance is mandatory for those. So that might be something that you'll leave to another semester, and you could choose something else for your fall term instead. So math, certainly you don't have any on campus. If you were taking a computing course or a lot of the other electives, you'd be able to take those. But first year physics, biology, and chemistry, you have to be able to attend the labs, even though they're only every second week. Want to try that one, Rilla?
Sure. So
Yeah.
Brianna is asking, will there be help available if I'm confused on the course material? Absolutely. And as Karen mentioned in the resources available, number one place to go if you're confused on the course material or need some explanation is talk to your professor. They're the ones that are teaching the course, and with the fall semester being virtual, some profs may have online office hours available for you to connect with them, or connecting with them even a virtual way. If it's a lab component and you're on campus, you can talk to the lab instructor if you have questions. There's between that, there's also, again, the peer tutoring that's available that's being done online through the Academic Success Center. That's all, again, free of charge. And sometimes it just needs maybe one or two meetings up with your professor or maybe with the peer tutors to give you some assistance on that. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out if you need help. Again, that's the beauty of UFV, where we have the smaller class sizes and you can get to know your professors, and don't hesitate to ask for help. Sorry.
There's the Math Center as well for any math or stats courses. And finally, the supported learning groups. So when you sign up for your class, check to see if there's a supported learning group, and there might be a leader that's there to help you. Commonly, we have supported learning groups for biology, chemistry, some calculus.
I'm just looking at the timetable now.
Do they have any of them up yet?
I'm just going to check.
Okay, so Rilla's going to check that. Typically what they would have is beside some of the description an SLG code, supported learning group code.
I'm still looking if you want to go to the next question.
Okay, is there a way to accommodate for a major in the neurology field? Okay, so neurology could be biology. So you could be taking your basic first couple of years of biology and organic chemistry and first year chemistry. And then we do have a few courses that you might be interested in at the upper level. So cell bio, there's a neurobiology course, a lot of genetics types courses. You could combine biology with a psychology minor or major, and that might be one way where you can prepare for a career in neurology. The other option for you is to go straight to psychology, and that's in the Bachelor of Arts. So if you just wanted to do a psychology major, then the Bachelor of Arts with a psychology major might be an option for you. Okay? Again, you could add in biology as a minor or as a major, and so your Bachelor of Arts degree with a psychology major and a biology major or minor. And so there's you can look at the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science as two possible options for studying neurology. There's some differences in what's required for the general requirements for a Bachelor of Science degree and versus a BA or Bachelor of Arts. Okay. Is registration for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing done the same as other registration? And that's Marla. So if you're in the nursing program and you've been admitted to the nursing program, then you should be contacting that department. I did email you earlier and gave you the link to your program. So it's Health Studies at ufa.ca is your contact. And so you should be directly in contact with the program Health Studies if you're already admitted to the Bachelor of Science, okay, in nursing, which is very different than the Bachelor of Science degree. So nursing has a very set list of courses, exactly what you will be taking for the fall and winter in the next 4 years. Just as a reminder to students, I just thought about it, in terms of emails, we do communicate to you through your My UFV account, your email, your student email. So if you are inquiring about your program or with anybody, your instructors or any other resources, always inquire using your UFV email, your student email. And include your student ID. That's really, really handy because the next question we're going to ask you is, what's your student ID? And then I can help you out. Just a habit to get into, use your student university account, email account, rather than a Gmail or a Hotmail or anything like that. Because we want to be sure your information is confidential. So that's how we communicate to you through your university account.
Update on supported learning groups. I don't see anything for the first year courses this upcoming semester, and there's nothing on the supported learning group webpage about it. So likely it could be because of the fact that we are in a bit of a different kind of delivery model as far as being online. They aren't going to be having SLGs, but I expect that may change in the next few months. But that is definitely a possible resource for the fall. If things are back on campus in the winter as hoped, then potentially that they will have them restarting them again or starting them in a different mode for the fall. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Anybody else out there?
Great time to ask the questions. So if you have anything that's you're thinking about, you're kind of confused, we would expect that out of every new student. So don't worry about asking the question. Every question's important.
No stupid questions.
Not one.
Not at all. If after this session today that you do think of a question, keep in mind you can always email our advising office at advising@ufv.ca for any questions that you may have, and we'd be happy to, you'll be directed to one of us, and we would be happy to connect with you that way. That was me.
Okay. I need a question. Yay. We can also send you out this presentation if you want it emailed to you. It will be, so we're told, published as well on the Discover Your University website. So
I checked and there's nothing there yet. So
okay.
In regards to the registration tutorial, nothing has been posted, but it should be. I'm expecting they're going to be posted in the coming days. If you had questions about that,
but we can send it to you, so you can email us, and we'll send you the presentation that we went through today. So. We do have a question about the transferring courses to another university. And in this particular case, Brianna is talking about how to prepare for pharmacy at UBC. So generally, just so everybody knows, if you want to take a course here and transfer it to another university, there is a great resource or website to check out. It's called the BC Transfer Guide. So that's how you figure out how a course will go from UFV to another university. Also, some students might decide that at some point in their career at UFV, they take a course at another university and transfer it back. Always, if you're going to do that, we do request that you do a letter of permission or request for letter of permission. It's a form that you can find on student forms in the Office of the Registrar's website. So Office of the Registrar, student forms, and request for a letter of permission. And then ahead of taking the course, you would find out whether the course will work for your program. Okay. For courses going out, you would check the BC Transfer Guide. You would have UFV as your school where you're taking the course, and then you would check to see how the course would transfer to that target school. So in the case of UBC Pharmacy, you will find many of the courses listed there. So for example, you might input Biology 111 and Biology 112 and find out whether they fit and transfer to UBC. Okay. Not all courses are listed there. So for many of our programs, we have checked in with the school and we know how our courses transfer. So you could follow up with an advising appointment in the advising center, and we can kind of help you plan your courses for programs like pharmacy, medicine, and dentistry. But we do offer everything you need to prepare for a pharmacy program at UBC. So rest assured, you can take everything that you want. You could finish your degree at UFV and be prepared for a pharmacy program at UBC. We offer everything you need here. Okay? So if you, as a guideline, follow the biology major plan, and that'll keep you right on track to apply for a pharmacy program, and check in with the advising center in winter, or certainly before next fall's registration. Okay. A few more minutes if you have any other questions. maybe we've covered them all. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for attending our session today. Hopefully it is very helpful in answering a lot of your questions and getting you ready to register for your fall. If you haven't already, check your My UFV account and check your registration time. It's posted there. Most of you will be registering after probably around July 3rd, 4th, somewhere in there if you're brand new students to the university. So do check your My UFV so you're prepared to register at the time and date that is indicated in your My UFV account. If you don't have to register exactly at the moment, but I do encourage you not to leave it very long and to register close to the time that they've given you. You can certainly register after that and make any changes at any time during the summer. I think there's some deadlines that you would have to make all your changes by, just so you don't have any extra fees for your account.
I posted this one earlier, but I'm relinking it. This is the how to register page on the OREG website. It literally takes you through step-by-step how to do it. So plus with some tutorial videos. So I use this link with my students every day. So yeah. It's sort of one-stop website.
And you need your $200 deposit in your account prior to that registration. So next couple of days would be a great time to get that money into your account if you haven't. Okay, if there aren't any other questions, we're going to end the session today. Thank you again for attending, and we will see you virtually very soon. Take care.
Thanks very much for coming, guys. Have a good day.